Alright, what's up my fellow YouTube watchers, and welcome to the second series on the channel. I'm really addicted to this game the last few days, I must say. So I was like, why not do a YouTube series on this game? As you can see, we landed on Earth. This is the Netherlands. So if we go fly up for now, we take it all up. You can see this is the Netherlands. We have Texel over there, Vlieland, Terschelling. We got the Afsluitdijk. I need to place the water in with the water mod, so let's do that really quickly. But yeah, we landed on Earth, and as you can see, we got a lot of other planets all over the place to explore. We got some modded planets in as well. We have a huge mod pack. So yeah, the goal of this series is just to have fun. Let's make a couple of refineries, a dock, make a ship, make helicopters, make actual working gear like diggers, space stations, and whatnot. So this will be a huge series. Let's get into this game. Holy moly motherfucking crap. So why is there an unknown signal like 5,000 kilometers right over there? So there's a planet up there. There's a planet up there. There's a planet up there. There's something up there. I think it's another planet. We got our sun. I think we have another planet. I think there are a couple of more stuff all over the planet. There's another planet over there. So I think there are about 25 planets in this custom-made world. Maybe even more. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know if this is modded, yes or not. Because I haven't played vanilla in quite a long time. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's vanilla, what's modded. I have a huge mod pack. Also, we just have animated stuff. As you can see, we got the animated ore detector, long range ore detector, colored displays. As you can see, custom encounters. Oh, that reminds me, we need to make factions. As you can see, there are a lot of factions. This not even all of them, because with this mod pack, we even have to discover some of those factions as well. So let's call ourselves ATM. And we of course are AtomicA, or AtomicA, could be both wave. Let's make a nice looking colorful thing over here. So let's make this black, and yeah, don't take this too seriously, but it almost looks like a Nazi symbol or something like that. Especially if you do something like this or this. But you know, I like this kind of stuff. I like the red and the black, so we're going to use it anyway. Okay, so now we have our own faction. Now we can see which are our friends, which are neutral, and which are our enemy. So we got the space spiders, which are our enemy, the space pirates, space animals, the asset recovery communication or whatever, and a military faction that are our enemy. We can of course try to be friends with them. We can make more enemies, but these aren't all of the factions that we have over here. I think there are about 100 of them, so a lot of stuff to do, and I've downloaded a lot of encounter packs and even made a couple of my own. Okay, so let's actually take a look, because one thing first, let's actually park right here, and I press P. That's something you never need to do. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to our wheels. So we got the front wheels over here. So front wheels have steering with that. Speed limit 100 km. We could go all the way to unlimited, but let's make it a little bit more realistic for this type of terrain, and let's make that 60 kilometers for now, because otherwise we keep flying and toppling over. Friction, power, strength is all good. We could give it a little bit more strength. Let's give it about 30, and I think that should be good for all the hills that we have to climb over. So 30 over here as well. Steering override. So what's the steering angle? 16. And can we steer with the back as well? No, so let's steer with the back as well. So we can make a little bit of a tighter corner. And let's make that 16 as well. So now we can have the, like, a very tight corner just like that. And look at that. Without actually being too fast and stuff like that. Alright, so we need to find some resources. At first we only have stone to refine. So we need to build a refinery as quickly as possible. And I want to find some flat shoreline. And also what I need to do is go to W create. And that creates some water. And then if we do W radius, and I think it was like 1, 2, like 3, 5 or something. That's definitely not. That's definitely not it. So I think it was like 2, 7 then. 2, 7. That seems to be more it. So, as you can see, we got the coastline over there. That seems to be the perfect case. Okay, let's actually go over there. Let's make our truck a little bit... No, I like to roleplay this game. So don't expect like very much action. There could be action because we got enemies over here as well. So I have no idea when we got attacked. We got meteor showers, so we have to defend ourselves against that. We got sandstorms, we got difficult weather, which you can actually die in. So a lot of stuff that we can do. And I want to find like this straight shoreline over here. I think that this is a really good spot, maybe even further down there for a harbor. Because this is the actual planet Earth. It's not the same size as, of course, like I think 1/10. So yeah, it's way smaller than the actual Earth. As you can see, Netherlands is of course not this small. It's small, but not this small. So yeah, there's a lot of water to uncover. So I think we could have like a couple of ships. There will be ships sailing around by AI. So that will be interesting to see later on. There will be random encounters, random ships flying by. I think in the first couple of hours of the game, it's going to be a little bit calm. And then it ramps it up really fast with attacks and stuff like that. Okay, so we got some silicon over here. So I want to find a good spot. And I don't think we can have the long range ore detector just yet. So if we go to over here, ore detector. So we got this one, the long range ore detector. So we need the reactor component. I'm not sure if I can actually make this. So in the worst case scenario, I demolish my ore detector right off the bat. But then again, we find all these rocks and stuff like that, so that's not really a problem. So let's see if we can actually make this. So I always press the wrong button. There we go. And we can actually make it. Okay, so now we got a long range ore detector. This one is not animated, as you can see. So this is basically like a vanilla, but it's just ramped up. So now, if we go over here, and we go to the control, we go to the ore detector. Long range ore detector is like 15 kilometers. Let's wrap it down to a little bit of a 10 kilometer radius. Look at that. That's how you find stuff. So we got iron over there, nickel, we got ice over there, we got magnesium over there. So what we're going to do, we're going to make this like some sort of role-playing kind of thing. So we're not going to make like one huge base that does everything. We're going to make like a refinery over there, like a shipyard over there. We're going to make roads. We're going to have AI ships flying around. We're going to have bots driving around. We're going to have wars, of course, because there will be a war going on. And a lot of other stuff. Of course, we have like different planets. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do. So be aware of that and subscribe if you want to see all of that, because holy crap, I have so much plans. Of course, I play this a lot in my spare time, so yeah, I've built a lot of stuff as well. So yeah, that brought me to the idea like, well, I have so much fun with this game. Why not make a YouTube series out of this? Because holy crap, I'm very busy at the moment with life and work and stuff like that in real life. But you know, the City Skyline series will be as well as the other videos. I just don't have as much time. So there will be not as much videos on the channel. I think one a week or something like that. But I try to make them better quality. So yeah, if you have ideas to improve my videos, let me know. And I might consider doing that. This is the reason why we lowered down the speed. As you can see, we can now go nicely over the hills instead of keep flying over them, tumbling over, damaging the vehicle, because we don't really have much components to repair all the time. I do want to go near that coastline again, so I was driving around a little bit to see where all the resources are. And I think it's a good spot to actually be a little bit closer to the coastline, to have a harbor. And we want to be a little bit closer to these kind of mountainsides, because we need a lot of stone, especially at the beginning. So I think we go with we've got some ice over here. We got these rock kind of things over there. We got the coastline not far from here. So if we build like a refinery right around here somewhere, and then we build a harbor over there, build a road in between, I think that will look really, really cool. Maybe a submarine pen or something. I sound like a fucking Nazi right now. I mean, I have an almost Nazi-looking icon. I talk about submarine pens and concrete bunkers and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, so we got iron over there as well. We cannot refine iron currently because we need a basic refinery at least for that. So yeah, I have some good plans for that. You know what? I think this is a pretty decent spot. We got some gold over there. We got iron over there. Magnesium over there. Cobalt and nickel over there. Silicon over there. Silver over there. This is a very good spot. We got a lot of resources close by. We got ice over there. We got ice, of course, below the water because that's all ice. We got ice over there. We got some rocks over here. I think this is a pretty good spot. And maybe we could dig down a little bit because we will get a little bit more meteors later on. Because it ramps up the more the game goes on. So we got like a couple of meteor showers in the early game. And the longer the game goes on, the worse it gets. Now we do have one problem though. Because this is a custom planet, we don't have the food sources on this planet. There are no bushes. Maybe there are animals, I don't know. So we need to get the algae farm up and running as soon as we can, because otherwise we will starve. We do start with a couple of meat a little bit. I think we start with 100 meat packs, but that runs out pretty quickly. So yeah, we need to get food up running as well pretty quickly. Now I was thinking, because we're building this huge kind of mine right over here, I think we're going to build the first refinery right in this like sand spot over here. So I don't have to go walk all the way back and forth. Well, I could be pretty close actually. But you know, and for now I think it's better to build like these metal plate base instead of the concrete. Because we will build with concrete later on. So I think for now it's just better because we need a lot of gravel for concrete. And for that I want to have a harvester. So let's build like a small little base just with the iron plates that we have. And we also have a meteor storm right away. Look at all the planets over here. There are planets everywhere. But where is the meteor coming from? There they go. Oh, hopefully they don't hit my truck. Don't hit my truck. Okay, you're fine. Wow, they sound strong though. Okay, we're safe, we're safe, we're safe. Okay, so let's build up a small base. And then let's actually see what we need for a basic refinery. So we're building the outer shell of the first refinery. It's not going to be a big refinery. It's just like where we can drop off the resources. And we can do some other kind of stuff. So it's just like a small base where we can sleep when it's nighttime. So I installed that mod as well. So we can have a lot of light and daytime and stuff like that. Because I hate building in the nighttime because you don't see anything. Of course I can build lights. But right now, we don't have that much resources. And I think we need to build like another door over here. So we've got like a garage door over here. And we're going to have a small door over here so we can go back and forth. We're going to have like a small docking station right over here. So I think that looks really, really good. Now, there's a reason why I'm already starting to build like some sort of base. Even though we don't have much resources. And that's because of the weather in this mod pack. We can have like huge sandstorm, heat waves, and all kinds of other crap that you cannot go outside of your house or outside of your mine or building or structure, or you have to be inside of your vehicle. So we cannot go mining once that weather pattern hits. That's not something that you want. So we want to be able to, even if there's a storm inside, we can actually dig down or something. We can still do stuff and not die, because it will actually hurt quite a bit. So we also want to have like a digging system onto our little rover as soon as possible. So even when those weather systems hit, we can actually still be mining and doing stuff. Otherwise, we'd just be sitting down and waiting for the weather to go away, which can take quite a bit. I had that weather once in my own playthrough, and that took almost like 3 hours in real life. So, yeah, we don't want to have that kind of delay. It was really painful to work with that. My microphone cut out for some reason. I don't know why. I have a new microphone, so it could be like a simple setting or something like that. Okay, so for now we make it like this high. It also gives me a little bit of protection against meteors as well. Okay, and now we need to do like these towers, like so. Okay, I'm misclicking all over the place. Let's make them a little bit higher, just like, I think this is a good height, so like over here. I keep misclicking. Fuel low, so let's quickly, okay, that could be a lot worse. Okay, so let's actually grab ourselves some more jet fuel. There we go. And let's clean up all the blocks that we misplaced. For some reason, we made a kind of cool tower. Made the leading tower of Pisa or something like that. Okay, there we go. And now, of course, we need to make at least one wind turbine for now. So let them place one more block on top over here for now. I don't think this is high enough, but you know, it will do for now. So if you go to wind turbine, I think we already unlocked that. I think you unlocked that with the start of the game. But look at all the blocks that we still need to unlock. Look at all that. There's so much stuff. I have all the DLCs as well, by the way. So that's a thing. So we need interior plates, 10 of those. So let's go over here. And we should be having a lot of stuff. So we've already got 3,000 iron plates. I keep mining and building all those stuff. Okay, so we don't have enough anymore. We need to place interior plates, so which is this one. Let's make 30 of those. Can we make those? No, we don't have enough. So we need to grab more stone. And now we have that set up, we can right click this and add to the build planner. And then I think it was shift middle click. There we go. Now it produces the stuff that we need for the wind turbine. And first wind turbine is now in place. Of course, we need more. So I think we need at least 3 to work with a bigger refinery. But okay, I think we could work with 2 as well. Fuel critical, I know that. Okay, so let's grab the other components. He's creating a lot more of those stuff. Okay, that's all working, so we can actually create that as well. So what do we need for a basic refinery? So for a basic refinery, we need computers, motors, construction computers, and more steel plates, which is easy to do. And I'm going to place this for now right over here. Okay, so we can have a room right behind it over here. We can have conveyors, so we don't have to back and forth. So we're going to have like the big refinery over here. We're going to have an assembler with speed modules, I think right over here in the air or something like that. Not quite sure. So what do we still need? So let's actually unpack this one, place this one into the build planner, go over here, shift middle click, and then everything goes in production that we need. I don't think we have everything just yet, but it will make it eventually. Alright, basic refinery is now done. It should be getting power from that wind turbine. That's just barely enough to run this. But at least we get some more preparation done. And now I think we can actually mine down the iron, which is right down there. Don't think we could do gold and silver just yet. I think we can only do silicon, nickel, cobalt, and iron. I don't know if we could do magnesium with this one. So I want to have like the bigger refinery as fast as we can. So if we go to over here, we have like the bigger refinery, the industrial refinery, which I really like. I like the look of that one. So if we place that right down here, we got this nice looking stairs. Let's place it down here. And let's see, because we also want to have like a way to connect our rover later on. So let's see how we're going to do it. So we're going to have an assembler right here, like the basic assembler. Then we're going to have a small container right over here, then conveyor over here. So I think the connector will be around here-ish. So we need to do a little preparation. Why is there water all of a sudden right there? Okay, so I think until here is fine. And then we do something like this. So we're a little bit lower, and then we can go a little bit up like that. So the back goes into the thing, because otherwise it's too low. I don't really sure, but I also like this kind of docking idea. This needs to be one further. Just like that. And then place this around. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to cut too much, because this is just what the game is. So I think we're just going to do it like this, with a couple of cuts here and there, especially with the mine, because it's just drilling and stuff like that. But you know, you all know how it works. So let's see if this actually is big enough to fit this one, because we're going to add a drill on this thing. We're going to remove the survival kit. We're going to replace the survival kit with a container. Then we're going to place a drill on this one and a connector. So we go right down here. So we got this. This will be a gate. So we turn in here. Okay, it fits nicely in. So if we just park it, we can just do it like this. And then hopefully this is a little bit louder than the connector, so we can connect it just like that. Then it will connect, drop off the resources, and then we can just drive out just like so. And then we need, of course, a hinge to lower higher up the drill so it doesn't hit with this thing. So we need a hinge for that as well. And that's the cargo container done. So we got like the basic refinery, we got the cargo container right here, and we got the assembler over here. So basically this also works as some sort of conveyor system. We put the items in here, we can refine stuff. So the refinery puts the ores out of there, and then it automatically puts it over here as we place down an ore. Perfect. Now we just need to have an on and off port for the rover to drop up the ports. So let's actually grab ourselves the conveyor system. So we bring it over this way. Then we bring it over this way. The two straight pieces, and then we need a connector. But I think we don't have the connector just yet. So connector, we don't have the connector just yet. I think we have to build one of these pipes over here. So if we do something like this, I think we now unlock the connector, hopefully. Otherwise my plan is a little bit bumpy. There we go. We got the connector right here. And why did I place it over there? I need to place it into my second hotbar, because that's my conveyor hotbar. So connector, let's place it down there. And then let's see, drive it right here. Nope, we have to do it a little bit different. We have to put it over here. And then this one goes like so. And then another one will go on this one as soon as we replace this with a cargo container. So that will be over here, and then we'll be able to connect, and then we'll be able to drop off the resources once we put on the drill. Perfect. There we go. Now we also have like the big refinery up and running, so we can now actually work on silver, gold, etc, etc. So basically we can now have everything. We just need to hook up everything up to the conveyor system. So I think we can remove this one, place it somewhere around here maybe. I think that's a little bit better idea. Hook up everything up to the conveyor system. So I think we're going to do that. So let's remove the basic assembler for now. We need to build a bigger assembler. And if we can upgrade our tools well with silver. I think we got silver like close by as well. We got iron, we got cobalt as well. We got cobalt right there. Silicon, silver right there. Only 8 kilometers away. We got ice. There are unknown signals falling down from the sky, which is amazing. Okay, so we're going to have a look at that as well. So let's actually take a look. So now all that is in place. I made a little boo-boo. I removed the survivor kit, replaced it with the medium cargo container and a connector. But I cannot rebuild the survival kit because I don't have medical components. And because I don't have medical components, I cannot rebuild the survival kit. So I cannot reclaim my H2, so I cannot fly for a bit. There is silver over there to make those components. So that's what we're going to work on in a little bit. But yeah, I made a little bit of a boo-boo, so I don't have a survival kit. So if I die, I'm pretty much screwed. But I'm not too worried about that. Okay, so now we can actually, as you can see, we can connect this up to that. And that's perfect. Okay, so now we can actually bring this down here. And let's work on this system over here. So for that, we just want to have a hinge. I don't know if we already unlocked the hinge. Yes, we do. Okay, that's actually perfect. And we want to have a drill. And I want to go for the drill type 2. So let's actually build down the hinge. And I need to make sure it's the right way around, which is this one. And we just need some large steel tubes, which is perfectly fine. We can already make that. And then of course we need to have the drill on, and then we can lower and upper the drill as we need to, and it still should be able to get it in and out of the system. And why cannot unable to place this? I think it's because the lights, maybe? Why is it not letting me place this drill? Okay, I think it's the light, so let's remove the lights. Let's see if it does it now. Do I have the wrong type, maybe? So let's see what this back one is looking. No, it should be the good one. Not quite sure why it doesn't work right now. But let's get to two, maybe because we need to finish the hinge first. So now I had to replace the assembler over here. We're going to place it down later. It's not really that important because we need the steel tube. We needed 2 of those as far as I remember. We need more iron ingots. That means we need to dig out a lot more of these rocks. So we got our steel tubes over here. And there we go. And hopefully we can now build the drill. No, we cannot. And why? Maybe we were in the way ourselves. Unable to place drill type 2, but why are we not able to build it? I was able to do that in my own playthrough. Maybe we need to be a little bit higher off the ground. So let's bring it a little bit higher off the ground like that. That's interesting. So let's take another look. So maybe if we do like a small conveyor junction. And then, no. Let me take a look. Alright, don't ask me how, don't ask me why. I just rebuilt everything and then it just allowed me to place it. I don't know why one of the time it doesn't place and otherwise it does, but alright, it works, so that's perfectly fine by me. So let's actually see if we can actually take everything out that we need. Cannot withdraw. Alright. Okay, so now that's built. Let's place everything inside the back of our truck. I don't know why, just so we can. Okay, so let's actually get in here and let's actually, oh crap. Okay, there we go. So we need to build a little bit of a ramp down here. So what we want to do, we need to have a couple of things. So now we can actually build it up, build it down. So we need to set up the commands. So this one can go away. So we want to have the connector right here and toggle it to switch lock. Then we want to have the other one. Where's the hinge? I cannot find the hinge. And then we want to have increase velocity. And this one to decrease velocity. I think that's basically it. So we can build it down. We can bring it back up. And so if we, and of course we need to do the digger itself. So the digger, we need to build it on and off. So now we could put the digger on and we can actually bring it back up, down, wrong button, there we go. We can bring it up, we can bring it down. So wherever the ore is, we can actually do that. So now we want to go towards the silver ore right there. Actually grab some silver, we can actually grab some iron over there so we have more plates. But for now, I just want to grab silver, so we can actually have a silicon or a survival kit actually again, because that was a very stupid mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, we found silver. And now we can put this thing to the test. Also, while we're at it, I put some rotatory lights with the yellow color because, you know, hazard and all that yada 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 bullshit. So let's see if we can actually get this thing to work. Let's first wait the meteor storm so we make sure we don't get hit. So where are they coming from? There, look at all these planets. Okay, where are these bastards coming from? We don't have any protection against them. Okay, so not getting close. Are they going to our base? Nope. Okay, we're fine. We're good. We're good. So we put on the drill just like that. Put this down and then bring it down. And look at that. It should be working. It's a little bit fast though. So let's keep it like this for now. And let's actually mine this ore right here. But look at that. Even if it's higher or lower, we can actually adjust the system. And we can actually mine just the way we want to. So for example, I want it a little bit lower. I can lower it. I want it a bit higher. I can higher it. And I can actually do something like this and mine everything out without having much trouble. Look at that. It actually works. I'm so happy with that. Look at that. And then I think we want to have a little less torque or speed behind it, but I think it's pretty good. So now we can actually mine out a lot of the silver ore just like this. Look at that. And we can just dig out this whole thing. So we are almost back at the refinery. And I just noticed that the game sound wasn't recording at all. Yeah, I'm actually face bombing myself. So I'll figure something out in the editing to hopefully make it a little bit watchable. But yeah, as you can hear right now, it's fixed. We got sound, we got game sound. Woohoo! So yeah, from now on the game sounds will be back. I actually forgot to enter a setting in, so OBS was not recording. Shit! Also, let me know if you want if you want me to do a face cam in the future, because I'm really not sure if I want to do a face cam, yes or no. Depends on what you guys want to see. If you want to see my stupid face, yes or no. Alright, meanwhile we are back at the base and we saw a dead antenna, but then it disappeared again. So maybe that's a damaged thing, a beacon that's going on and off because it's damaged. And yeah, I drive like this because I cannot see shit if I drive like this. I could go and lower it and then of course drive like that. So if I lower it like so, I can drive like this so we can actually see stuff. But you know, not really needed. Okay, we need a little bit of a ramp right here. So let's see if we can actually have a connector. So let's put it back up. And now I want to do one little thing. I want to reverse that because plus needs to go up and minus needs to go back. And right now it's the other way around, which I don't know. What's a hinge? A hinge. So hinge, and I want to reverse the stuff. There we go. So now, there we go. Now it's the way it should be. For me at least right now. I think I might regret it later, but we'll see. So if we connect this up now, just like so, connect it up. And then of course we need to recharge the battery as well. So where is the battery? That's the event controller, parachute hatch, battery right there. And then of course we need to do recharge on and off, recharge mode, and now everything is recharging as well. Also, I noticed that I don't need a life support or a survival kit to recharge my H2 system. As you can see, I'm flying, I'm losing my H2, but if I enter this cockpit, it goes back to 100. No idea why, but I am not complaining. So as you can see, we're now refining silver and gold, so we should be able to make some of these kits. We need 3 of those, so let's see if we can actually make them. So what do we miss? No, we can actually make those, so we can actually make a survival kit and actually be out of trouble. Oh, we need 1 more. I think we just need a little bit more silver, but we are producing that, so I think that's, there we go. We got all of those. So let's grab that and let's grab everything else that we need. So let's place the survivor kit right there. And then add that to the build planner. Get rid of that one. And I think we just need to go over here. Middle mouse button. All components were successfully withdrawn. And now we can actually build it. And now we have ourselves a respawn and actually recharge point, which we need. And of course we need a H2 generator, and let's see if we can actually build that. So the H2 generator, which is this one, and then place it right there. Can we actually? Yes, so can we exit? And then we need this one added to the build planner. Get rid of that. Let's actually add, so it just to make sure that only that is into a build planner. Okay, so we need steel plates and all other kind of crap. So let's actually do this one. We just need one more steel tube, okay, which is easy to make. We just go over here. Didn't make a really good access point over here, so we need to reconfigure this base a little bit. Do we not have a point? No, so let's make one of these tubes, which should be fine. There we go, it's already there. Perfect. Now we can actually make our H2 generator. So now we can grab some ice so we can actually refill that as well and do some other stuff. Let's see. We got some iron nodes pretty close by, right over there. So I'm going to grab that iron, going to grab all the components that we need for the steel plates, going to weld all of this up because we do already have a lot of steel plates, but we do need a second connection point to actually grab all of the components from. So we can actually do something like this. And let's get rid of all of those. Let's actually grab all of that. And now we can actually weld these pieces together and just make the whole base complete. Now I want to see how to upgrade my tools. So if we go over here, production, and then we go to tools, then we can have the enchant. Well, we need cobalt. We don't have cobalt just yet, I think. So no, it doesn't seem that we have any cobalt, but there is, I think there was some close by. So we got more silver over there. I think that's from the meteors, and some gold. So I think the meteors bring us some silver, which is pretty much amazing. I'm all down for it. I thought there was cobalt close by as well. We got some magnesium over there, gold, silver. We got some iron, silicon. Where did the cobalt go? I thought there was some over there, but I'll just drive around to find them. So, and then for the second tier, I don't think we can really make that just yet, because we can only build these ones. So we need a bigger assembler for that, and we're going to work on that in the next episode. So in between episodes, I'm just going to weld this all up, because this will just take a lot of time. It's just going back and forth, and I think we can just do that in between episodes. Just be doing this for like about an hour or so. Yeah, unless you guys really want to see that, I'll just do this in between episodes. It's just, you know, going back and forth, going back and forth, going back and forth, and create all the steel plates and just fill this all in. So this is episode 1 of the Sitskine, as I wanted to say, the Space Engineer series. And yeah, that beacon keeps popping in and out. I heard that in this mod pack, because someone made this mod pack for me, that there are like decoys and red flags all over the place as well. So they are luring you into a location that attack you, like basically set up an ambush. So I'm not quite sure if I want to go there. Look. It's going in and out. It's a damaged antenna, so that explains why it goes in and out. But is it actually damaged? Or is it just a decoy? So like, okay, I'm going to investigate and I get attacked. So I'm not quite sure. So we'll see about that in the future as well. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe for more city skylines, more space engineers, and a lot more shenanigans that I have planned on this channel. It will be a little bit slower than usual. Normally I did like 2 or 3 videos each week, but because I'm very busy with work and private life, it will be a little bit slower, but the channel will definitely go on. See you guys in the next video.